So here's what we're hearing. We're hearing that December the 12th is going to be the date. The network is not the network right now is unknown. I'm hearing PBC on NBC primetime, and then there are others like Dan Rayfield who's saying Showtime. This is T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live, and Keith one-time Thurman, the WBA world champion at 147 pounds, is in negotiations to take on Showtime Porter. Now, I'm asking myself, how hard can this fight be to make when both of these fighters are managed, advised by the big guy, Al Heyman? So basically we've been hearing for the last several weeks that Keith Thurman has been the hold up to the reason why the fight isn't being made yet. And I'm thinking to myself, well, what is he waiting for? Now, we know he had a little bit of an injury in the Luis Collazo fight, but I'm thinking to myself, well, who else would you fight if you was not going to be fighting Sean Porter? For example, would he be fighting Kell Brook? We know he's not fighting Amir Khan. We know he's not fighting Floyd Mayweather. Or is the Amir Khan fight out there? Was that a possibility? So right now, it looks like it's going to be him versus Sean Porter. I'm supporting the fight. Who do I have winning? I have Keith one-time Thurman winning. But here's the thing. Wouldn't you say that Sean Porter's resume is better than Keith Thurman's when you look at Kell Brook? You know, both of them fought Julio Diaz, Devin Alexander, Adrian Broner. And when you look at the Keith Thurman side, you see Leonard Bundu, Soto Carras, Diego Chavez is a good name, Robert the Ghost Guerrero. But when it comes to, you know, actual like good caliber competition, I'm going to give Sean Porter a veteran resume type edge. I don't know what I'm saying. You know, I'm confusing myself, but basically I'm looking at the fact that Keith Thurman had that one bad round against Luis Collazo, and now everybody's saying, oh, well, Keith Thurman is going to get knocked out, and, you know, Keith Thurman is, you know, putting in the body. And I'm thinking, he had one bad round. Yeah, he did display his new BMX bike. Yeah, he did show that he has some foot movement, you know, when need be, when to escape a pressure fighter. But I'm thinking him versus Sean Porter doesn't seem like, to me, is going to be a fight that's going to go 12 rounds. And that's where the real excitement is coming in, is because I'm looking at Sean Porter with his fighting style. Either his face is going to get smashed in or he's going to get knocked out. And I'm looking at also his fighting style to the point where he may smother Keith Thurman and just end up beating up Keith Thurman all night and maybe even winning on the cards. So it is a fight that I'm interested in seeing. And, you know, since PBC is going on a year now, it's about time for them to start, you know, putting on more high caliber type fights. And other questions I do ask is, we hear that Al Heyman gives his fighters a list of names, and it's up to the fighter to decide which names that they're going to fight. So I'm thinking, does Sean Porter always say, oh yeah, I want to fight this guy. I want to continually fight the best? Because if you really look at it, he's been fighting some high level competition that he doesn't really get credit for, in my opinion. But to each his own. I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. We don't know if it's going to be on NBC. We don't know if it's going to be on Showtime. But Keith Thurman versus Sean Porter looks like it's going to be very close to happen, and they already did a face-off. You already had both camps going back and forth at each other. I was even at Danny Garcia versus Paulie Malignaggi, where they were both in the same room with each other, just as they were during Mayweather versus Berto. You know, when they did the face-off, you know, it's on the videos on FightHype.com. But it's looking like they already been pretty much selling the fight. So if they were to fight anybody else, you know, especially if it's lower level competition than themselves, then it's going to be looking at, I mean, I'm going to have to look at it like, oh, well, you know, somebody didn't want to take the risk. I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live of RealCombatMedia.com. I cover every single major fight live. Please subscribe.